You know that exact financial habit your parents always warned you about? Well, it's actually the exact same habit that built almost every single fortune you admire today. I mean, just take a second and really let that sink in. You've probably been playing defense your whole life, but the rich, they're playing a completely different game called offense, and debt is absolutely their favorite weapon. Growing up, we were all taught a very simple, very strict rule, right? Debt is the enemy.
Pay it off. Avoid it. Fear it. And honestly, for most people, that fear is doing its exact job. It's keeping them safe from total financial ruin. But here's the part that's probably going to bother you for the rest of this explainer, and it's the real secret of the ultra-wealthy. Because if you clicked on this thinking, hey, I've noticed rich people never seem to actually pay things off, well, you are in exactly the right place. That's what we're breaking down today. You see, there are two totally different things hiding under the exact same word, debt, and almost nobody bothers to separate them for you.
So here's the question I really want stuck in your head for the next few minutes as we go through this. What if the thing keeping you broke isn't debt itself, but which side of it you're standing on? I promise you, by the end of this, you will literally never look at a loan the same way again. Stick around, because the concept we're getting to in just a bit is the one that actually made me angry when I first learned it.
Here's the uncomfortable truth that most generic personal finance advice just skips right over. The advice to avoid debt was built for one specific type of person, the consumer. It was absolutely never built for the investor, and almost nobody tells you there's a fundamental difference here. I mean, think about it. Consumer debt and investor debt look completely identical on paper. They have the exact same interest rate, the same monthly payment, they even come from the exact same bank. But they behave in completely opposite directions. One literally drains your future income for something that's already losing value the very moment you own it. The other, it just rents someone else's money to buy something that's actually making money while you sleep. Same paperwork, same signature, but a completely opposite financial destiny. And that's not some positive mindset trick, guys. That is just pure math. And once you see the math, you really can't unsee it.
Now pay attention to the ultimate filter wealthy investors run every single purchase through, whether they say it out loud or not. It's remarkably simple. They ask, does this debt take money from my future, or does it bring money into my future? That's it. That is the entire test. They don't look at the principal amount first. They look straight at the direction the money is flowing. Let's look at how this math actually plays out in the real world. Think about a standard car loan for your daily driver. It feeds on you. The car loses value the absolute second you drive it off the lot, right? But that monthly payment, it stays exactly the same, just eating into your cash flow every 30 days. Now compare that to a loan on a small rental property. The property can pay its own bill through the tenant's rent, it can appreciate in value over time, and it even hands you a nice tax break at the end of the year. All while you still technically owe the exact same amount to the bank on paper. Same word, same contract format, completely different direction of money flow. Now, you might be thinking, okay, I get it. Investor debt is just good debt. But actually, scratch that. That's the wrong lesson to take from this, because there is a much bigger idea hiding underneath it all. And honestly, it has absolutely nothing to do with real estate or businesses. Here is what almost nobody says out loud. The wealthy aren't actually borrowing money. Not really. They're borrowing time. Think about it this way. If you had to save every single dollar before making an investment, your growth would be completely capped by your paycheck. I mean, it could take a decade to save enough for one property or one business or one major opportunity. Let's just pause for a second, because this is the part that reframes the entire concept of leverage. Leverage actually means compressing 10 years of saving into one single afternoon of paperwork. That is the actual product being purchased here. Not the house, not the heavy equipment. It's the decade of your life that you didn't have to wait.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why the rich don't see borrowed money as a burden at all. They see it as a fast-forward button. It propels them into the future instantly. But as we all know, fast-forward buttons are incredibly dangerous in the wrong hands.
Which brings us to the part that trips almost everyone up. Because here's where it gets really counterintuitive. Sometimes the smartest financial move you can possibly make isn't paying a debt off at all. It's leaving it exactly where it is.
Picture a loan sitting at a 4% interest rate. It's boring, predictable, and extremely low cost to carry. Now picture a brand new opportunity crossing your desk that could realistically return 8% or maybe even 10%. Most people, conditioned by their upbringing, would look at that setup and still loudly say, "Nope, pay off the debt first, always." But investors just don't think like that. They ask a colder, highly analytical, mathematical question. They ask, where does this dollar work hardest? Killing a cheap loan or funding a bigger return? If the return on that new opportunity outpaces the cost of the old debt, paying off the debt actually loses the money. So, the absolutely crucial point we have to make here is that this isn't recklessness, it's capital efficiency. But, and this matters deeply, this strategy only works if you actually understand risk, you understand cash flow, and you know exactly what happens if that new opportunity underperforms. This is absolutely not permission to just go hoard debt. It's a lesson in where your dollars are most useful, not an excuse to stop thinking critically. And honestly, this is the exact moment most finance explainers either oversimplify things into a blanket "debt is good" statement, or they just scare you away from ever learning it properly. We are doing neither today, so stick with me here.
Because here's something that sounds a bit boring at first until you realize what it actually means for your wallet. Inflation quietly shrinks the value of money every single year. Most people only ever experience this on the negative side, right? Thinking, wow, everything at the grocery store got so much more expensive. But if you locked in a fixed loan payment years ago, that exact same number today is literally worth less to you than it was the day you signed it. Your income tends to rise with inflation over the years, but your fixed payment doesn't, meaning you are legally allowed to repay a loan using cheaper future dollars than the expensive ones you originally borrowed. That is completely mind-blowing to me. It's not a loophole, it's just built right into how fixed-rate debt behaves, and yet almost nobody explains it to you before you take out your first loan. And here is the part that made me actually angry when I first fully understood it. Winning the wealth game was never just about who had more money sitting in their checking account. It was always about who could move the exact moment the opportunity appeared. We are talking about having the infrastructure ready. Access, credit lines, banking relationships, pre-approvals. These are standing systems that the wealthy have already built up long before the opportunity even existed. Picture the timeline here. Let's say it's day one, and an incredible deal hits the market. Two people can see the exact same deal at the exact same time. The first person, the traditional saver, well, they have to spend 3 years scrambling to save up a down payment to seize it. The other person, they sign the paperwork by Friday. That massive gap in timing isn't about intelligence at all. It's simply about infrastructure. And the best part is, infrastructure is something you can actually start building for yourself today. Now, before this turns into some misunderstood mandate to just go out and get into debt, stop. Just take a breath, because this is exactly where people get hurt, and we need to be very, very clear about the boundary here. Debt used on depreciating lifestyle purchases, we're talking luxury cars, new wardrobes, expensive vacations financed on high-interest credit cards, that does not behave like investor debt, not even close. It has absolutely none of the upside and all of the agonizing downside. The wealthy do not succeed simply because they borrow. They succeed because they know exactly when borrowing serves them and when it's just expensive shame in disguise. So let's put it all together and give you the real takeaway here. Debt isn't inherently good or bad. It's a direction. It either pulls money out of your future or it pulls opportunity into your present. The rich don't fear it, but they certainly don't worship it either. They interrogate it every single time before they ever sign their name. You now understand something most people never will: the vital difference between debt that feeds on you and debt that feeds you. But Here's the brand new problem you have now that you didn't have 10 minutes ago. Knowing that debt can build wealth means absolutely nothing if you don't know how the wealthy actually find the opportunities worth going into debt for in the first place. So if this completely reframed the way you see borrowing, our next explainer breaks down exactly how the wealthy spot a golden opportunity before it becomes obvious to everyone else, and why, by the time you finally hear about it on the evening news, it's already way too late.